A bus is a connection of wires that connects several devices. Buses are used to send control signals and data between the processor and other components. This is to achieve a reasonable speed of operation. In computer system, all the peripherals are connected to microprocessor through bus. In computer architecture, a bus is a subsystem that transfers data between components inside a computer or between computers. Earlier, computer buses were literally parallel electrical wires with multiple connections. But modern computer buses can use both parallel and bit serial connections. To achieve a reasonable speed of operation, a computer must be organized so that all its units can handle one full word of data at a given time. When a word of data is transferred between units, all its bits are transferred in parallel, that is, the bits are transferred simultaneously over many wires or lines, one bit per line. A group of lines that serves as a connecting path for several devices is called a bus. In addition to the lines that carry the data, the bus must have lines for address and control purpose. The simplest way to interconnect functional unit is to use single bus. All units are connected to this bus because the bus can be used for only one transfer at a time. Only two units can actively use the bus at any given time. Bus control lines are used to attribute multiple requests for use of the bus. The main virtue of the single bus structure is its low cost and is flexible for attaching peripheral devices. Systems that contain multiple buses achieves more concurrency in operation by allowing two or more transfers to be carried out at the same time. This leads to better performance but at an increased cost. A system has typically from 50 to hundreds of distinct lines where each line is meant for certain function. These lines can be categorized into three groups, that is data line, address line and control line. Let us discuss them one by one each. First, let us discuss about the data line. Data lines coordinate in transferring the data among the system components. The data lines are collectively called data bus. A data bus may have 32 line, 64 line, 120 line or even more lines. The number of lines present in the data bus defines the width of the data bus. Each data line is able to transfer only one bit at a time. So, the number of data lines in a data bus determines how many bits it can transfer at a time. The performance of the system also depends upon the width of the data bus. Now let us discuss about the address line. The content of the address line of the bus determines the source or destination of the data present on the data bus. The number of address lines together is referred to as the address bus. The number of address lines in the address bus determines its width. The width of the address bus determines the memory capacity of the system. The content of address line is also used for addressing I/O ports. The higher order bits determines the bus module and the lower order bits determines the address of memory location or I/O port. Whenever the processor has to read a word from the memory, it simply places the address of the corresponding word on the address line. Now let us discuss about the control line. The address lines and data lines are shared by all the components of the system, so there must be some mean of control the use and access of data and address line. The control signals placed on the control lines control the use and access to address and data lines of the bus. The control signal consists of command and timing information. Here, the command in the control signal specifies the operation that has to be performed, and the timing information over the control signal specifies till when the data and address information is valid. The control line includes the lines for memory write. This command causes the data on the data bus to be placed over the address memory location. Memory read. This command causes the data on the address memory location to be placed on the data bus. IO write. This command over this control line causes the data on the data bus to be placed over the addressed IO port. IO read. This command over this control line causes the data from the addressed IO port to be placed over the data bus. Next, transfer acknowledge. This control line indicates the data has been received from the data bus or is placed over the data bus. Next, bus request. Bus request. This control line indicates that the component has requested control over the bus. Next, bus grant. This control line indicates that the bus has been granted to the requested component. Next, interrupt request. Interrupt request. So this control line indicates that the interrupts are pending. Next is of interrupt acknowledge. So this control line provides acknowledgement when the pending interrupt is served. Next is of clock. This control line is used to synchronize the operation. And next is of reset. The bit information issued over this control line initialize all the modules. If a component connected to the bus wishes to send data to another connected component, it first has to acquire control over the bus, and then it can transfer the data to another component over the bus. The same happens when a component requests data from another component. During the transfer of data between two components, one component acts as a master and the other acts as a slave. The device initializing the data transfer is referred to as the master, and usually it is a processor, or sometimes it may be some other device or component. The component addressed by the master component is referred to as a slave. The devices connected to a bus vary widely in their speed of operation. Some electromechanical devices such as keyboard, printer are relatively slow. Other devices like magnetic or optical discs are considerably faster. Memory and processor unit operates at electronic speeds, making them the fastest part of a computer. Because all these devices must communicate with each other over a bus. An effective transfer mechanism that is not constrained by the slow device and that can be used to smooth out the difference in timing among processor, memories and external devices necessary. A common approach is to include buffer register with the device to hold the information during transfers. To illustrate this technique, consider the transfer of an encoded character from a processor to a character printer. The processor sends the character over the bus to printer buffer. Since the buffer is an electronic register, this transfer requires relatively little time. Once the buffer is loaded, the printer can start printing without further intervention by the processor. The bus and the processor are no longer needed and can be released for other activity. The printer continues printing the characters in its buffer and is not available for further transfer until this process is completed. Thus, buffer register smooth out timing difference among processor, memories and I/O devices. They prevent a high-speed processor for being logged to a slow I/O device during a sequence of data transfers. This allows the processor to switch rapidly from one device to another, interweaving its processing activity with data transfer involving several I/O devices. The figure shows the traditional bus configuration, and this figure 2 shows the high-speed bus configuration. The traditional bus connection uses 3 buses: local bus, system bus and expanded bus. The high-speed bus configuration uses high-speed bus along with 3 buses used in the traditional bus connection. Here, cache control is connected to high-speed bus. This bus supports connection to high-speed LANs such as fiber distributed data interface, video and graphics workstation controls, as well as interface controllers to local peripherals including SCSI.